like, that is what prayer looks like. And the most important thing you gotta remember about prayer, never forget that. It's not about what you say, it's about what you believe. They say that the Jesus who your Grammy teach you about, who your Grammy had to drive you to church to go see. Just like the vagabond Jews. Oh, the Jesus who poured, no. Even when I go to God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, I talk about the Jesus, my God, this is my Lord. Yeah, I know this is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, but you gotta add my name to that too. That's how I do that. It's my God, my Father, my King. I say the God, but whoever, ain't nobody else gonna talk about God. The Holy Spirit and me, I talk to God for myself. It's my Lord. It's all about what you believe. So God, appreciate you, bless God, protect us. Help us to understand, Heavenly Father, that is everything. Believing is everything. And the most important thing we can do in this world is to believe in you. In Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen.
The views expressed on this program are not the views of ZNS TV 13 and, by extension, the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the weekend edition, 2 shootings resulting in 2 deaths here in the capital overnight. Students show their tech skills. A new Junkanoo movie headed to the big screen. And in sports, Exuma Regatta closing out. The Bahamas tonight, the weekend edition, starts now. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jiminita Swain, and this is the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition. Thanks so much for tuning in. 2 men, a juvenile and a 27-year-old, are dead following separate shooting incidents in the capital Sunday morning. The first incident unfolding after midnight at a residence on Graham Drive in Yellow Elder Gardens. Police say the 27-year-old victim was inside a home talking to a sibling when he opened his door, and a male known to him opened fire, hitting him multiple times about the body. The gunman later fled the area, but police press liaison officer Chief Superintendent Chrislyn Skippings is confident he won't be on the run for long.
We know who the suspect is. We know who he is. And so for him, I encourage him to turn himself in at the earliest opportunity, because we will get you in the shortest period of time.
Police then rushing to the scene of another incident at a residence in the Royal Palm Estates subdivision off Cowpen Road. Police say a 41-year-old man and a 36-year-old woman heard a knock at their door. Upon opening the door, an unknown male with a firearm forced himself into the home, where he was joined by an accomplice. Despite the culprit's demand, the homeowner confronted the suspects, leading to a struggle in which he managed to disarm one of the suspects, shooting him multiple times. The second suspect, who was also armed, briefly exchanged gunfire with the homeowner before he fled the residence, unharmed and making good his escape. The other suspect, believed to be a juvenile male that sustained multiple gunshot injuries to his body, later died in hospital. Now, officers, while conducting their investigations at the scene, also discovered a large quantity of suspected marijuana and seized a firearm containing ammunition, resulting in the 41-year-old homeowner being arrested. The drugs weigh 705 pounds with a value of over $700,000. Police investigations continue into both incidents, which are not believed to be related. Well, following the discovery of skeletal remains at a public burial site in Fox Hill Friday, a body was found yesterday at the public cemetery on Abundant Life Road. Chief Superintendent Skipping says that is also being actively investigated.
Allowing the men from the Criminal Investigations Department to do due diligence as to how it got there, why it was placed there, and where we find that persons have breached the law, we will do our due diligence and put them before the courts.
This appeal was also made to the public in regard to family or friends who may not have been seen recently.
If you haven't seen that person's face being advertised on television or burial being conducted for someone who you know, I want to encourage you to come forward. This is our country. We have to all take responsibility for what is going on.
Also making news tonight, a Bahamian mother and son both killed in a car crash on a Florida highway. Reports reaching our newsroom say the mother was driving a minivan on I-75 when she lost control and struck two trees, pinning her son and herself inside the front of the vehicle before it eventually burst into flames. Firefighters extinguished the blaze. 3 backseat passengers escaped injuries and were taken to an area hospital for treatment. Bahamas Consul General in Miami, Kurt Hollingsworth, expressing sorrow over the incident.
At the moment, the officer in charge here in my office is conducting an investigation into the matter. Once that investigation has been concluded, we will provide you with an update on this most unfortunate tragedy. We'd like to extend condolences to the family of the deceased and let them know that our prayers are with them, and may their souls rest in peace.
More news in a moment.
What boss man was saying in the back there just now?
About what? The luncheon?
Why you always worried about food? No, about how we gotta pay a little more for national insurance.
Mildred, you talking fool. I can't afford to pay that.
And you always crying palm out. Ain't gonna be much. Boss still gotta pay. 1st of July, 2024.
I think that criminal benefit is what did help my boy Tony through the pandemic. That same unemployment benefit. And guess what?
What?
Susan, I think she'd get a pregnancy benefit, eh?
You mean maternity benefit, eh? So now, we gotta do our part to make sure we get our pension. All right, well, let me try and go back to work, easy, boss man.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready?
The best of the best. Keep the vibes alive music group. Alpha Sounds Promotions present the best of the best Wicked Scrape Explosion. As we ignite the grounds of Super Club Breezes, KB, Gino D, Funky D, Veronica Bishop, Ivy, the Islanders, Elon Moxley, Shine 242.
Get your tickets now. Available online at BahamasEtickets.com or swing by the Beauty Shack on Soldier Road and Carmichael Road.
And we're not done yet. The Falcons, Shag Collie and the VIPs, Pat Ramey, Stevie S, Johnny Cake, Iron Store, Novi, Mama D, and Nishi LS. Skyboxes and Skypods available. Call 394-0819. The best of the best Break and Scrape Explosion. Gates open at 6 p.m. May 11th at Super Club Breezes.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Full Call Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
Thanks for staying with us. The International School of Business, Entrepreneurship and Technology hosting a tech fair recently with its students showcasing their tech skills in areas of coding and programming. The students taking their designs outside of the classroom and to the Marathon Mall where they chatted with eager passerbys.
Many things that you can do with this material. For example, not over here as yet, but hopefully, but in the United States, the garbage trucks, they use this robotic arm so they wouldn't have to be exposed to the different germs of the containers.
17-year-old Jabari Miller is interested in bioengineering. Isbet's head boy explained that he, along with other 11th graders, built the robotic arm that was displayed at the tech fair. There were 3D printers with students showing its application, Additionally, Deputy Head Boy Amani Farah was equally excited about a game he created.
What I'm using is Python programming. So Python is used to code apps, games, and many more stuff like websites. So I have a game, Lucky 7, that I use. It's basically a dice game. You roll the dice, and if you win, you get a prize.
The dean is hoping to expand his computer science knowledge in the future. All of the school's 90 students participated in the tech fair, alternating between a morning and afternoon session. Academic coordinator Kellyanne Frendo says she's proud of them.
Well, obviously, we're very excited, but it's all about the students, and it's great to see them wanting to show their skills, to present, to, just kind of tell people what they've been doing, their coding, their web design, their robotics, all the things they've been learning with us.
Students of various age ranges produced computer games, but the students all have a love for what they're learning. A number of interested persons moved between inventions, chatting with students. Superintendent Carlos Mitchell was one of them.
We actually interacted with this particular school at our recent Tech Expo. And from the feedback we got from the students, their ideas, their enthusiasm, we just had to come to see what they offered. And we're very, 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 very pleased that we came, because the level of intellect and ingenuity that these kids are displaying, this is the first time I've ever seen it on this level from such a young group.
Well, a new documentary film chronicling the journey of a leading Junkanoo artist, Angelique McKay, now making its way on the big screen. Desmond Sanders has the story.
So it follows me on my journey to get to Bay Street after COVID. And it follows me from the Junkanoo Shack that I'm a part of to the persons who assist me in getting ready for Junkanoo, my face painter, the builders. It follows me on the journey in Genesis, because I'm a Genesis She-Hawk.
When the morning brings a history, magic, and color of Junkanoo to life on the silver screen, the 69-minute film produced by MSNBC producer and Crooked Island native Philip Williamson and film director out of New Orleans, Jonathan Isaac Jackson, both artists collaborating with McKay to create the documentary.
The Bahamian director, he showed one of his clips to one of his family members. And his family members is a former colleague of mine. And she was like, how are you doing a Junkanoo movie without Angelique? They make films, and Jonathan had made a film on the Mardi Gras Indians of New Orleans. And PJ wanted to do the one with the Bahamas and Junkanoo, and we were able to see the similarities based on the African ancestry of both of these parades.
The compelling film already receiving rave reviews.
So far, the world debut was at the Bronze Lens Film Festival in Atlanta, Georgia, in the United States. Then we went to the Trinidad Film Festival. We've been to Afrotique Film Festival in Amsterdam, the Hayati Heritage Film Festival in North Carolina, where we had the Junkanoo Commandos were the headliners and the closing act for that particular festival.
Who in the Morning will premiere in New Providence May 16th at the University of the Bahamas Performing Arts Center under the distinguished patronage of wife of the Prime Minister, Anne-Marie Davis.
Certain members of Parliament, when they saw the flyer going around, they reached out, and they are busing children from the schools in their various constituencies to the matinee performance. The members of Parliament understand the importance of our children being able to see something as historic as this film.
The film creator hopes Bahamians everywhere will be inspired by the Bahamian documentary. Part 2 of the film now in the works. Desmond Saunders of Bahamas Tonight.
If you see news in the making, call ZNS News at 502-3800 or email us at znsnews@gmail.com.
In the Yellow Elder Garden, Allie and her cousins listened to Grammy share tales. The 70s so sweet, with themed costumes and dancing feet. Then came the brass, reaching new heights. A symphony of Bahamian nights. The 2000s, the Yellow Elder, a symbol of pride. Grammy's legacy in view as Allie dances in her Yellow Elder costume. We are alive.
Get the glow, keeping you in the know, keeping you in the know. Cause if it's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow. It's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow.
The Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources takes one step closer to its goal of food security after receiving a $1.95 million donation from the Nassau Cruise Port.
As Nassau Cruise Port, we get excited about the prospect of being able to offer more authentic food and local food to the millions of visitors that we have each year. And then in addition to that, we had discussions and presentations around the further development of our authentic artisan product and art sector, which is so important to us as well. It was Ms. Clinton actually that mentioned that the guests visiting our shores and coming to our Bahamas are looking for something that really does touch the Bahamas and something that they wouldn't find someplace else.
You see, the donation took place at the ministry's offices recently, where Minister of Agriculture and Marine Resources Jomo Campbell, Minister of Labor Pia Glover Roll, Permanent Secretary Neil Campbell, and Nassau Cruise Port CEO Mike Mora listened to a number of presentations, including one for a poultry program for schools, a chicken broiler production program, the redevelopment of the Blue Hill Road Farmers Market, and an authentic Bahamian cultural concept store. Minister Glover Roll expresses gratitude for this generous donation.
Our minister has a goal of 25 by 2025, and that's in regard to food security. And our project in the Golden Gates community also speaks to that effort. We have a number of backyard farmers in our community in the Golden Gates. We have fishermen and women. We have farmers, and we also are looking at, in terms of authentically Bahamian handicraft, being able to use the Blue Hill Fish Market, which is going to be the fish fry of the South, as a hub for food security, a hub for an opportunity for our farmers and fishermen to sell and present their wares, but also an opportunity for us to provide an atmosphere where artisans can learn craft and sell their wares.
And Minister Campbell echoed those sentiments.
On behalf of the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources, I would wish to say thank you to the three presenters today. And what is definitely several steps in the right direction for the further enhancement of our country. I would also like to say thank you to Mr. Moore and his board at the Nassau Cruise Port. And penultimately, as I've always been reminded in growing up, I'd like to say thanks to God for this opportunity and this partnership in bringing us all together as we move forward, upward, onward together in building a better, brighter, more beautiful Bahamas.
Keeping you in the know with Good to Grow, I'm Leah Cooper.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station. Open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
Every breath, we admire you. Every stride, we cheer for you. Every moment, we fly our flag with pride. Because when you run, we run. BTC proudly supports Bahamian sports and athletes and is the title sponsor of the World Athletic Relays 2024. BTC supports the journey of winning, creating an unbeatable mobile experience so you can be unstoppable.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Welcome to your Sunday Sports, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports after nearly 4 days of competition. The 2024 edition of the National Family Island Regatta coming to an end last evening over in Georgetown, Exuma. Organizers holding the official closing ceremony. A look at the winners from each division. In the junior category, Sugarloaf, skippered by Finley McKinney Lambert, would take that one. The A class would go to Ed Sky, skippered by Liam Brister. The B class won by the Long Island boy Stephen Knowles and Susan Chase. And it would be a sweep of both divisions, Stephen Knowles and Sassy Sue would come out on top of the C class as well. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, and the island's MP, the Honourable Chester Cooper, in closing, spoke about the strides made in sailing a full year after it was made the national sport.
So this week tonight concludes the first year since the declaration of sailing as the national sport of the Bahamas. I congratulate all of you. This had been 49 years and 9 months in the making, and we took it across the finish line under the leadership of Minister Clay Sweeting and the entire sailing community. In the 1 year under this banner of sailing, there is no question that the public support and enthusiasm for sailing and our love for regattas remain very strong.
Well, they swam, biked, and ran over what was a grueling 2 days of competition at the Bahamas Triathlon Championships held on Jaws Beach. Athletes from throughout the Bahamas descended on the capital for the championships. However, after it was all said and done, there could only be a handful of winners. Taking the overall male and female titles would be Malcolm Menzies and Aaron Pritchard.
It felt really good, just working towards the overall goal, which is winning these kind of races. Very tough, although I have so much competition with like Lonnie Duncombe. But yeah, pretty good overall two races, yeah.
It feels really good. Obviously, I put in a lot of effort over the past couple of months, and like since last year, Carifta as well. It feels quite good, and I'm really proud of myself for achieving this title.
And he's one of only a handful of Bahamians to play volleyball at the pro level. Shanari Hepburn just recently wrapped up his 8th pro season, the last lap over in Estonia. A successful one from both an individual and team standpoint. Hepburn tells us more.
It was a good year overall. We wanted to win it all, so you know when you set out with the goal of going to win everything and you fall short, even though making the finals was still history for the team, because it was the team's first time in their history ever making the finals. So the fans were happy, but you know, as a player and as a competitor, you just always want to go all the way.
And with the NFL draft wrapping up this weekend, a Bahamian hoping to make his NFL dreams come true. Denzel Daxon was signed as an undrafted free agent with the Dallas Cowboys. The 6'2", 230-pound defensive tackle wrapped up a strong senior season at the University of Illinois. Daxon transferred to Illinois with 1 year of eligibility left after playing all 12 games with Ohio University. In his senior season, he would go on to register 27 tackles on the season while having 3 or more tackles in 7 games this season. And that's been a look at your sports on this Sunday. A check on weather when we return.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
For hurricane season, we got impact windows and doors. For protection, just come to our store. Plus we got tiles to pretty up your walls and your floors. We'll help you brighten up for that big bad storm. Porcelain tiles, blank tiles, mosaic tiles, a variety of styles. These 14s get right, they gotta be rough. That's why we got the best deals in the whole Bahamas. Hey, hey.
Who will wear the crown? The countdown is on for the biggest finale ever, and you can have a front row seat to witness it all. It's the crowning of the 2024 Miss Teen Bahamas International, Sunday, April 28th, 2024 at the Atlantis Theater Paradise Island. Showtime, 8 p.m. Also expect a big announcement on finale night. That's the 2024 Miss Teen Bahamas Pageant Finale. Tickets VIP $65, general admission $50, and students with ID $35. Box office Divas Inc., West Bay Street. Miss Teen Bahamas Pageant is brought to you by the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, Star Apple, Wendy's, Titan Hospitality Group of Companies, Farmhouse Bistro, Zaymar Group, The Point, Western Air, Superclubs Breezers, Atlantis Paradise Island, the Sugar Rush Lounge, and Strength Over Fear.
You've got termites and need to get rid of them fast? Trust Rentokil Initial. With over 60 years experience in the Bahamas, the global brand, training, and expertise can't be beat. Only Rentokil Initial gives you a 3-year warranty and payment plan options on termite fumigation. No one can match the range of treatments we offer, such as fumigation, pre-construction treatments, termite monitoring, and more. No matter where you are in the Bahamas, we will come to you. When it comes to complete termite eradication, there's only one name, Rentokil Initial.
Abuse, domestic violence, suicidal tendencies. Are you being stressed out from these problems? Call the national hotline at 422-2763 or 322-2763. There are trained social workers available 24 hours to help you. Know that you are not alone in this.
Our marine resources were once considered inexhaustible. Conch and reef fish like grouper were abundant everywhere, and it seemed as if the lobster catch would rise forever. But today, there is a downward trend that affects everyone. Researchers say we can reverse the trend by protecting more marine habitats. And the good news is that most Bahamians strongly support efforts to halt further decline. Tripling the size of our network of marine parks will mean more fish and conch for everyone now and for the future, as well as more recreational and ecotourism opportunities. Today, only 10% of our waters are protected. Surveys show that most Bahamians consider protection of our marine environment to be a top national priority. More protection means more benefits for everyone, now and in the future. It's a win-win-win strategy for the economy, for Bahamians, and for nature. Protect our sea, protect our way of life, protect the Bahamas. See the future. Visit Bahamas Protected on Facebook to learn more about marine protected areas.
Your one-stop shop for all things news and entertainment.
Bringing you exclusive content from unique talents you can't find anywhere else.
Keeping you updated with the top stories from across the nation.
And entertained with a variety of engaging content.
All in one place.
With one click.
You mean I can get all this in the palm of my hand?
Yes.
On all my favorite devices? Yes. And with unlimited access to all types of different content.
You won't need to look anywhere else.
That's ZNS Digital.
That's ZNS Digital.
That's ZNS Digital.
That's ZNS Digital.
ZNS Digital, the people station in your pocket.
It's time now for a check on tonight's weather forecast. Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean joins us in studio with the latest temperatures. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Benita. We have partly cloudy skies, temperature at 76 degrees. Relative humidity 62%. We have east-northeast winds at 18 miles per hour. The barometric pressure 1,020.4 millibars. That is 30.13 inches. And your temperatures around the islands this evening: 79 in Marshall, Babaco, Greentown Key at 78, 78 in Freeport, Grand Bahama, the Berry Islands, 75. Alistown, Bimini, 76 degrees, 76 in Harbor Island. Roxanne, Eleuthera, 77, 78 in Fresh Creek, that's Central Andros. And Camp Space on Andros, Black Point, Exuma, 80 degrees. Otterstown, Cat Island, San Salvador, and Rumkey at 76 degrees. Georgetown, Exuma, 80 degrees. 79 in Ragged Island, Clarence Sound, Long Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, Megwana, 80. Acklands, 80. Matthew Town, that was 77. And the Turks and Caicos Islands at 82 degrees. Your boating forecast tonight through Monday: easterly winds once again in the northwestern islands at 15 to 20 knots. The wave heights remain at 4 to 7 feet. So caution flags remain in place for boaters in the Northwest Bahamas. Now, your high tide, that will take place at 1 minute past midnight. You can expect your low tide at 6:35 tomorrow morning for the central and southeastern islands tonight through Monday. Strong winds once again easterly at 15 to 25 knots. Very rough sea conditions continuing at 5 to 8 feet over the ocean. So once again, that advisory remain in place for small boaters in the central and southeastern Bahamas. And our forecast map showing a front boundary well to the west of us, and that will be moving towards the east rather slowly. So we will remain in that high pressure system, which will continue to generate those strong winds right through Wednesday before we see those winds start to die down a bit. Satellite pictures showing a bit of moisture being advected across the Bahamas, and that's courtesy of two upper-level trough, which is moving from west to east. The first one now moving offshore over the Atlantic. There's a second one just to the south of the Florida Peninsula that will be bringing some clouds to the Andros area, eventually to the capital, and then over the Eleutheris before moving over the Atlantic later on tonight. And as we go to our forecast map, turning a bit clear at times, still very windy, and the chance of a brief shower, 72 degrees for your low temperature. And tomorrow, mostly sunny and windy. In the afternoon, you could get a sporty shower here and there as well. The high temperature climbing to 80 degrees, and your extended weather forecast for the next 7 days. We're going to have a little bit of showers in our forecast right into Tuesday, and then Wednesday things get a little better temperature-wise. Pretty much homogeneous, staying in the low 80s and low 70s during the nighttime. Jimenita.
Thanks, Basil. Scores gathered on Ararat Key for the 80th Annual Red Cross Fair, the event raising funds to support the work of the organization in the Bahamian community. Governor General Excellency, the Most Honorable Cynthia Pratt, officially opening the event.
This event is a major fundraiser for the work of the Red Cross Society. The benefits of this event allows fuller engagement in the important community programs and projects, all of which are used to assist in uplifting the lives of the very dignity of many people across our archipelago.
And that will end the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition. We thank you for continuing to make ZNS your #1 news and information network, as only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. On behalf of the entire team, thanks for watching and good night.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.